What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about the secret to scaling a sales system for any MLM. If that sounds like something interesting to you, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet to this YouTube, because we put this plus a lot of other cool content out there as well too. And why is this super important? Now, when I first got started network marketing, I was super scared to be able to sell anything because I've never sold anything before. Let me know in the comments below, by the way, did you have prior experience to your MLM, like sales experience? I didn't. So when I heard, and what's going on, great to see you. I heard that if I wanted to do well in any business, of course, you have to sell. My issue was I felt like I didn't know any people. I felt like I didn't know how to sell. So how do I even make this happen, right? So I almost quit before I even joined. But then what happened was this. My mentor said, James, if you just do what it is I tell you to do, then you're going to be able to make some money with this. And I don't know why he said yes, but I trusted that he had more faith in me than I did. And what happened is I learned a system of how to sell. What I realized is this system I've been able to train, I've been able to duplicate. I've sold all different types of things, right? I've sold health products, I've sold services, I've sold coaching, I've sold a book. The secret to selling anything is the same, but there's a methodology to it. There is a methodology and a process to it. And it's essential that if you want to scale out an MLM organization, or for that matter, any business organization, that we are able to put down into writing. We're able to put down a process of how to sell. Otherwise, what happens is this. What happens is you become the best salesperson, but then your people can't. And what happens is you basically have an elevated, glorified sales position in your network marketing business where you don't get the benefits. Now, if you're in network marketing, I believe the biggest benefits, financially speaking, in network marketing are the ability to produce a leveraged income, meaning that you don't have to do all the work yourself. And also, number two is to provide a passive income. If you would like that, by the way, in your business, put a 2 in the comments below. So how do you scale a sales system? And why is this so important? I covered this in one of my previous videos. You might want to go check that out. But the reality is you can sell something in many different ways. There's like 1,000 ways to skin a cat, is the saying. And especially for someone that has mutual trust with someone, especially for someone that has influence, perhaps, then you can just tell someone, hey, you should just buy this thing. Right? In the beginning of most people's businesses, people buy just because they like you. They trust you. They're like, well, if you say it's good, then that thing might work. So let me just buy it. But if your business sales is only based off of influence or personality, and it's only based off of relationship, but you don't have a business system that you can go to someone that you don't know or somebody in your team that has zero influence and they can follow this and actually create a sale, then you're going to be stuck in your duplication and you're going to be constantly selling day after day after day after day. Let me know if this makes sense. If it does, put a 1 in the comments below. So how do you scale a sales system? Yeah. I believe there's a couple of simple aspects to selling anything. And my mentor, Tim Sales, calls it the pipeline. Understand that all sales, in all methodologies, this could be social media selling, this could be in-person selling, this could be in-home, doesn't matter. There's a process to the sales side. Number one, you need a process to be able to generate contacts and leads for your business. That could be in the beginning, friends and family. That could be Facebook groups. That could be Instagram, wherever that it is. You need to find some way to be able to generate leads consistently, to take a look at your business, take a look at your product. Number two, you need a system to be able to qualify this prospect. How do you know if they're a good, suitable fit for what it is you're providing? So for example, for me, if I'm selling one of my products that I'm really big on is this thing I call the Youth Elixir. So it helps with stimulating human growth hormone. So someone that I'm talking to that's qualified for this is somebody that cares about their health, somebody that's probably over 25 years old, someone that wants better sleep and better energy and maybe some fat loss, right? So I want to look good, feel good. So I'm going to be able to qualify. I want to know how I can converse with someone so I can ask them questions, see if they actually qualify for your product, your business, whatever that it is. So number one, contact. Number two, there's qualify. And then number three, there is invite. You need a process to be able to professionally see if people are actually interested in knowing what it is that you have. This is huge. One of the biggest issues that people have in their businesses is they don't separate the invitation, which you can consider the trailer to the movie, to the presentation. Now, if you've been involved in network marketing, you probably know as well as I do, you probably made this mistake. Let me know. Have you ever been overly excited and you try to talk to somebody and you did not know when to stop talking? Right? Put a 2 in the comments if that's ever happened with you. When I first got started, I was super pumped. I tried to talk to my close friends and I was explaining to them this whole concept that I thought for sure they were going to join. And then after around 2 minutes of blabbering and trying to reiterate what I just heard not long ago in a very not impactful way, my friends didn't just say no. They were trying to tell me to get out of this business. Why? Because I didn't separate the invitation from the presentation. So you need a process for how to set up an appointment. How do you actually invite someone? Then number 4, you need a process of presentation. You need some standard. You need some way to present your product, your business, your service. That could be a Zoom call. That could be an in-home meeting. That could be a video, right? That could be whatever that it is for you, but have something that can be scaled. For me, my personal favorite is I like to have a video. These days, people are just used to watching stuff. So if you just record yourself making a pretty cool video and you know that your presentation can produce results, and I'm glad that it's helpful, and understand a presentation can only get so good, guys, right? If you're getting, and this is when you know you have a good presentation, if 10 people watch your presentation, one of them gets started, that's a pretty good presentation. Okay, 1 of 10 is pretty standard. I've connected with the top 7, 8-figure earners around network marketing. And no matter what their product is, no matter what their business is, no matter how good the presenter is, the ratio that I've seen is around 10 presentations equals to 1 person saying yes. Isn't that interesting? So a good presentation, as long as it at least does that, awesome. You can make that, put it into a video. You can use that as something that you can scale and duplicate into your team, something that's pretty quick to the point. I think less than 30 minutes is a good time, especially for a business presentation. The shorter, the better, especially if it's a product. I mean, people got short attention spans. We got the attention span of goldfish sometimes these days, right? But you want to also be able to have a good presentation. And then number 5, you also want to have an example of a follow-up. You want to systematize how to get someone started. What questions do you ask? How do you actually make this happen? Right? So if you can train this whole thing and codify it, put it into a process, and then it works for anyone that applies it, then you can actually scale a sales system. Remember, system's important. Why? Because if you want to build a business where with or without you, it can operate, it's not personality driven, it's systems and process driven, then that's going to be fantastic. That's how you can actually scale. That's how you can actually duplicate. That's how you can actually expand. So kind of do a self-check on this process. So let me give you one example. This is how I train it, at least within our team, within our system. I do the same thing all the time. I've trained this in many other people as well too, right? So let's say I'm going through this whole pipeline process, this whole sales process. And let's say I'm trying to sell someone the idea of taking a look at my business. So I have a contact. So number 1, I'll look at the contact, and that could be, I just go to anywhere. I mean, anyone, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's looking for what. So don't prejudge. All right. So I'll look through my Facebook and people say, who should I talk to? I'm like, I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's just see. So I'll pull up a Facebook post, right? And then I'll look, oh, here's a friend, here's someone that engaged on me. Number two, I'm going to qualify them. You know what my qualification is? Very simple. I don't over qualify things. If it's in a business sense, my qualification is very simple. Do you look like someone that I'd actually want to work with? Right? Like, do they have characteristics of someone that I want to work with? Let me ask you this question. What kinds of characteristics would you want to actually work with in your team? Put some things in the comments below. Who would you want in your team? Would you want someone positive or someone negative? Right? Would you want someone that is a social recluse, does not like to be around people, or do you want someone that's maybe a little bit more sociable? Do you want someone that's super timid and super shy and super to themselves, or do you want someone that's bold? Right? You want someone that's ambitious, right? And what's up? Great to see you. What are some other characteristics you want in a dream teammate, right? Maybe I want someone that's connected. I don't want someone that's on, let's say I'm building a social media business online. Well, I want someone that has a profile photo. I want someone that has they actually make some posts. I want someone that actually has engagement, right? Like if you're choosing your dream team, you can choose who you want to work with. Some people say, James, I don't like my team. Man, they're lazy. Like they're not taking action. I'm like, well, you chose them. Now, I also want to let you know, you never know who's going to do well. I started with no social media. I started with no experience. I started with no types of influence. So everything's learnable. But when you qualify, look for specific characteristics. So I have a contact. I'm then qualifying them. And then number three, I'm going to invite them. I teach an invitation a very certain way. You might have a different for me. My invitation, I have 5 little steps to it. I can go into this more in depth in another video, but I diffuse the bomb. I share why I thought about them. I edify what I'm about to talk about. I share why I'm excited, and I ask a question. So let's say I see Wanda, and I know that she's a very nice and very genuine person, right? These are things, by the way, I'm giving a live example, but you need to know for your own team, what is your way of doing things? Right? This is the way that I know is vetted because I've done this thousands of times and I've trained this thousands of times and I know that it works. So you got to train something though. Why? Otherwise, you're not going to be able to systematize it. So this is how I'd invite Wanda. And I wonder, Wanda, if you would say yes to this. So like, yo, Wanda, hope you're doing amazing. I know this is out of the blue, but I thought of you because you're someone genuine. You're someone super nice. I think you could crush it with what I'm about to talk to you about. Right? So I start with something positive. Then I'm going to edify. Hey, there's a company. It's just a relaunch. It's a $300 million startup. It's going to the billions. No one knows about this. There's some huge opportunities. And we're looking to expand. I edify. My number 4, I'm going to share why I'm excited. And I'm telling you this, Wanda, I've always been looking for the right place at the right time. This is it right now. And I'm seeing people do well. I'm seeing people make money from their phone. I think we could do this. Step number 5. If I could share with you some information, Wanda, would you be down to take a look? Now, I think many people would say yes, right? It's to the point. It's an invitation. And then they're like, yes or no. And then I'm going to link them to a presentation, whatever that is. So just using that as an example, I have processes. I have literal scripts for how to invite, how to present, how to follow up. And it's important. Now, we shouldn't be scripted, but we should have some guidelines, right? This is why McDonald's is able to sell billions and billions and billions of burgers, but it's ran primarily by high school students. Did you know that? Like, go to any McDonald's and they have things so connected. They have things that are so procedural that they can just take a manual and do, with a little bit of training, equip any teenager, high schooler to do the work and actually run a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Isn't that interesting? Wow. That's how, if you look at your network marketing business as a franchise and you know what are things that you need to put into process and then start teaching that, teach processes, not personalities, then you're going to start to see how your sales will start to duplicate. Okay. Let me bring it back home here. If you want to scale a sales system in your MLM, this is what you want to do. 1, get really good at selling something. 2, break down what you do in that process. And then number 3, start teaching that process and then see if you can duplicate that effort. If you can do that, you know that you now have a system that can work. Start teaching that system. And that's what's going to be super important. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. If it was, be sure to subscribe because we have this plus a lot of other content that I'm going to come out with as well too. If you have any questions on anything, feel free to comment below. I'll go back to them as well. Check out my YouTube for sure. And by the way, if you are in network marketing and you've been frustrated and you've been like, man, this isn't it. This is cool, but I don't have a system. I've been trying to figure it out. I'm trying to go on this YouTube video, this training, trying to figure out with my own 2 hands, and it's been a struggle. Then I've put together something that you may be of interest. I'm calling it the MLM Business Blueprint because I've realized there's a system of doing things. If you do things if you do what the successful people do the way that they do it, there's a business skill system, but there's also a mindset skill system, how to think and how to act. If you have those 2 together, then you can actually not just achieve results yourself, but you can actually have a duplicatable system that can scale and duplicate globally. It's what I run in my own personal team. But for any of my other friends that are out there, we have a whitelisted version. If you want more information on that system, feel free to shoot me a message, or in the link below, there's a quick 30-minute video. You can check out the blueprint for yourself, and I'd love for you to evaluate that. I actually just had someone that got that, and I just shot out actually an email with all the cool things that I'm so excited for her because she's about to have a system now. So it's going to be super cool. But other than that, guys, hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for the next ones. We're going to dive further into a lot of these topics, and I hope that it can bless you. And let's continue to crush it. All right. Other than that, talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.